All right, Happy New Year, guys. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful New Year, spent some time with family. Let's hear it. How was your guys' New Year's? What'd you guys do? Where'd you guys go? Drop it in the chat. As we await the weekly candle close. Happy New Year. What a crazy year, right? Yeah, absolutely. It was absolutely a pretty crazy year, guys. Right. Just chilled at home. All right, yeah. Hey, yes. God bless you, buddy. That's a wonderful thing to do, man. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Absolutely cheers to 2022. Hopefully we can take you guys through, hopefully, not too much of a bear market. Maybe we don't go into such a major downtrend this year. But, we're going to go through that here in a minute here. All right. EP for president. Yeah, okay. What's going on, Tal? How are you? Mr. Toe, happy new beer. Nice. You guys are great. I love you guys. All right, so first thing we're going to look at here is Tether. Actually, I guess we'll look at the Bitcoin chart first, right? Sure. Look at the Bitcoin chart first. All right, so we're just hanging out down here by these lows. We haven't broke the lows, so that's a positive, right? We haven't broke this this low here on 46K. Kind of still holding it for now. We are below the daily 128. I don't have enough alcohol for a bear market yet. All right, well, I'm sure you'll get there, right? Okay, so for now we are below the 128 simple, which isn't good. We'd like to see price get back above that to remain in an uptrend. We did try to rally up here. We got a double top rejection up here around the $52,000 area. Again, today's candle close didn't negate yesterday's bullish engulfing candle, so again, that's a positive sign. And also for the weekly, we didn't bearishly engulf this low, right? Although we are below the 120, the 21 exponential moving average, which isn't good. Willing to share morning rise. Nice. Yeah, so we're looking top side of the range, right? 50,781 on the weekly. Bottom side of the range here, we're obviously closer to 46,640 here on the weekly. Oscillators are kind of neutral. We're sitting around 47 on the weekly chart right now. We did get a weekly cross up. We didn't get that trigger or signal, right? So we want to see the stochastic cross above 20 for a weekly signal, right? As we did back here in July. Now, typically, this cross up happens within about 2 weeks, right? We saw this cross up happen right around July 26th, July 27th. All right, so we could be looking at maybe a couple more weeks of sideways price action, maybe downside price action, depending on if we break these lows, right? So we're looking at a lower target here of around 43,000 if we do break this bottom here around 46.6. And the top side of the range target to break is around 50.8K. And we're looking at this weekly closure over here around 52,000. What we really do want to see if we want to go back into a major uptrend is break back above 53K and use it as a support. We've talked about this before. We have yet to do that successfully. And so for the moment, we are in a downtrend. All right, we are in a downtrend. We are still below the daily 21 exponential moving average, and we're now below the 128, which, if you guys remember, I talked about the 128 simple moving average here back during the July correction. All right, and when we were below it, we were talking about significant price movements to the downside, right? So we got to break below it. We dropped about 24.5%. Okay, so if we do something similar, I'm not saying we're going to, but it's possible. 24.5% puts us somewhere around this $36,000 area. Okay. Just if we repeat the same thing that we saw over here, getting a break below the 128. And if we do reclaim the top side of the range, all right, if we do reclaim this 48.7 area, the daily 28 exponential moving average, we can easily go back up to test the top side of the range, which is that $52,000 area, right? So a couple things have to happen for us to see price movements to the upside. If we are to see price movements to the downside here, we are going to be breaking below this $46,000 range, and we could see these targets down here, right? We can see how the DXY opened as well. Yeah, we can do that. I also want to look at Tether. Tether up here at a resistance on the daily, and is putting in lower highs, right? We are putting in lower highs up here on the Tether chart. We can look at the DXY, although I think the Tether chart's more correlated to the crypto market than the DXY. Well, we can look at that. We can look at that. And yeah, looks like the DXY had a bearish break here on Friday. All right, we did lose the daily on the DXY. All right, but we did lose it here as well. We didn't lose it. We didn't lose the 50-day moving average, which kind of keeps the price or the DXY intact, right? CRV, FTM, CWeb, and Link. All right, Steve. Yeah, we'll get to those in a minute, man. So in terms of the weekly chart for Bitcoin, we haven't broke the I guess technically on the price flow we did close below, but I want to say on the EMA ribbons, I'm going to open up a new chart. Okay, we're going to open up a new chart of Bitcoin here, completely new chart. All right. And we're going to go with just the EMA ribbons. I want to just look at the exponential moving averages. Yeah, we're going to look at it. I'll probably be on for like a solid hour tonight. I'm looking for... Give me a second here, guys. Yeah, it's a template. Here we go. And it's the exponential moving averages. All right, here we go. All right, so the weekly. All right, the weekly ribbons. These are usually pretty good. All right. The weekly ribbon down here at 44K, this is that area. If we start making weekly closures below this, we go into a weekly downtrend, okay? So that's this area right here. I do have an alert set if we do break this, all right? And so currently right now, we're still technically we're still in a weekly uptrend as long as we don't make closures below 44K. Right, we can be in this sideways range here for a while on the weekly. The daily, obviously already in a downtrend, right? We've been in a downtrend since we lost the daily back here around 58K. So this is probably one of the best ways to look at the chart. Okay, from a shorter term scale perspective, if you're wanting to know where we can go short term. Well, short term we could go back up to test 48.8, right? That's this band right here, and the top side of the range is right around that $52,100 area on the daily. That's it. Kelly, happy New Year to you too. Kyle, we can look at IMX, sure. We can look at. I want to look at Bitcoin dominance as well. We're gonna look at all that stuff. I just wanted to pull up a different chart for a different perspective on what's happening on the charts here tonight. All right, and I am gonna do. I'm gonna save this actually. All right. We can pull up ETH chart as well. ETH also lost the daily back here. Just so Kyle, you can shut up. The ETH lost daily here around 4,200. All right, and we rejected again here around 4150s, and we're still making lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so if we continue the trend, which is continuing to make lower lows and lower highs, we could expect lower prices. And the weekly is still fine, right? So that's all we really care about is the weekly time scales, and we don't go into a weekly downtrend or a major downtrend until we start breaking below 2800 or 2880 here on the EMAs, on the ribbons. Okay. So in terms of the weekly exponential moving averages, Ethereum is still quite in an uptrend on the weekly chart. Okay. We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance here for a second. We are going to show you guys that we are breaking below these support levels, which could catalyze a major altcoin season. It really depends. Honestly, really depends on how Bitcoin fares. Really, obviously, we haven't broke the bottom sides of those ranges yet, and I'm not really net bearish the market until Bitcoin really starts to break those 40K levels. Okay, and so we'll see how this plays out, but the weekly is kind of suggesting we could see some more downside here on Bitcoin dominance, which might really fare well for some major altcoins. All right, total, we'll look at total. I kind of want to also look at total on the exponential moving averages here, and total on the weekly is still technically bullish until we break 1.835 trillion. We get a weekly closure below that. All right, so this is still an uptrend until we break below these major ribbons. You go to the monthly chart, we did just get a new monthly candle. Obviously not the greatest of candles, but we did come back down to back test these areas here, and not enough data for 6-month charts. Yeah, so we could come back down and flirt with this $2.18 trillion area here. That would make a lot of sense on the total market cap. I'm gonna add an alert there. And we are going to take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed Index still in the fear stages, right? So this could be an optimal time to be buying, typically, right? We didn't actually break these lows back here from July, so that's good. This could be a potential floor. That's not confirmed yet, though. We don't have confirmation on that. Like I said, we're still continuing to make lower highs and lower lows on the daily time scales. Could you check the Nupal chart? Yep, we can check the Nupal chart. Nupal chart here for ETH, still in the green territory, right? We didn't flash. any of these purple signals, we're making lower lows, and it's kind of coinciding with the price right now. So no real divergences there, just downtrend, right? Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We didn't break these lows back here from July, so that's good. As long as we technically make higher lows than these lows, I think we'll be okay. That's it though. There's not really much to do when we're in the green areas. There's not really much to do. We're waiting. Everyone's waiting for this blowout top, but we'll see if we end up getting it, right? And then we're gonna go look at the SAR signals. So the SAR signals right now, we did just have an update to these signals, which is nice. So the hourly is long, 4 hours short, daily is long, according to 7 o'clock. So kind of a mixed signal, right? Daily's still long, so that's good. Overall trend here for the altcoins is long on the daily. The 4 hour, we lost the 4 hour trend. The hourly is long, so that could maybe change the 4 hour trend here in the next few hours. We'll see if we get some bullish price action going into the week here. And Ethereum signals, same kind. Actually, the daily is short on Ethereum, so we're looking for really a major push here for Ethereum to reclaim the 4 hour and the daily. So major push needed here to push those signals back to long. Bitcoin is also a long on the hourly, but short on the 4 hour and the daily. So I would say net short, really, right? Shorter time scales long, 4 hour short, daily short. So this could just be a lower high, and we'll see what ends up happening there. Right. So those are your SAR signals right now. All right. Covered Newport, covered Fear and Greed, covered Dominance, and this is kind of a little bit of alarming, right? This does maybe look like some sort of head and shoulders pattern, all right, on the total chart here, right? So I will say that this does look a little scary, all right? And we did make the same, or actually technically right around the same right shoulder length as the left shoulder. So this could be a bit scary for the total market cap. All right, and we'll see if this. Hopefully, this pattern doesn't play out, but it very well could, and catch lots of people off guard. That's for sure. Okay, this is not a bullish pattern. This is not a bullish one, guys, unfortunately, right? All right, so what are we gonna look at here? Steve asked for CRV, FTM, C-Web, and Link. All right, take a look at them. All right, so CRV. Up here at the top side of the range, if you don't get a break above, $7, we could come back down to test, 460 range, or really the weekly here, yeah, right around this $5 area. All right, and it does look like you're at the top of the range here. You could get a pullback. And that would be something too shocking, right? We're getting some sort of lower high on the MACD here, with like right around the same high on price. So maybe a bit of bearish divergence there that could be playing out. So be careful in your CRV, all right? Could see a bit of price movement down, but it is actually making higher highs and higher lows. So overall, in an uptrend, right? And you did get a nice weekly closure, the highest weekly closure that you've ever seen, technically on a candle body. All right. The weekly chart looks okay, but shorter time scales look like maybe you could see a bit of a pullback on CRV. FTM. We'll take a look at it. So still kind of in the premise of this this major uptrend here that it's been in. We got 1-2 touches on the bottom here, almost the third touch here, and we did get a nice nice candle here on the weekly last week. But again, you're up here towards the top side of the resistance or top side of the range, so I'd be again careful trading this right now. It is towards the top side of this range, okay, and you are making a lower high in the stochastic here, so just be careful with that. That could translate to, again, some divergence happening here with a high and a roughly around the same high or just slightly higher high. I mean, I guess you'll see how this plays out, but you are going to come up to this resistance area here around this 320 area. You could see a bit of a dip maybe before you do attempt at getting up here. It's going to depend on what Bitcoin does, really. Bitcoin is going to move back down. That could have an effect on Phantom's price. Remember, guys, all the technical analysis done here is contingent upon what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin remains in an uptrend or remains bullish above that 43K area, you know, then a lot of this TA could play out to the upside, right? So just have to pay attention to what Bitcoin does. We will look at Spell in one, yeah. But Phantom actually could be setting up maybe some sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern here. It's still a little bit unclear, right? You could argue that this is, you know, maybe a reversal structure here, and you're literally right at the neckline pulling back, so that could be something. Right, Phantom is obviously in a major uptrend, so until we start making like clear lower highs on like weekly charts, or I mean technically we're making a lower high right now, but it's trying to retest this top, but didn't lose the weekly, that's for sure. All right, and we made a higher high on this, so there's no head and shoulders pattern here, a bearish head and shoulders pattern, I should say. And looks like the momentum is about to cross back up. You did get a weekly stochastic cross above 20, so you signaled a buy on the weekly. So that's good. The longer term time scales here on Phantom still look pretty strong, I would say, even though you haven't made higher highs just yet on the weekly chart. All right. So Phantom actually looks okay. C-Web and Link. I've never heard of C-Web, but let's take a look at it. CoinWeb, never heard of this one. Not a lot of chart data. In fact, no chart data. Unfortunately, man, I can't really chart this. There's not really anything to chart here. So we're gonna look at Link. We'll look at Link, and Link is, last I checked, is still holding this uptrend. Right. I don't know if it's gonna do this, but I had this projected. And if we do remain in this channel up, which we're still in technically, and we are still making these higher lows here than these lows back here, we could go back up to test, you know, 46 bucks. It all depends on how Bitcoin handles and fares, right? Are we going to see a continued run, or are we entering into bear market stuff? We will soon know. Shiba, we can look at, sure. IMX, yeah, we can take a look at IMX. Not sure where all the chart data is on this. I'm going to go ahead and guess on Wabi. So, still technically below the daily pivot area for this asset. All right. You are in a squeeze, so if you do get a squeeze up, that could lead to higher prices, right? 540, your next real target, and up to maybe the 618 if you do get a push up. up to about $6. You have to understand that this range here needs to be broken and tested as support. So this $5.30 area needs to be broken successfully. Because you had one attempt here and you failed, and you had a second attempt here, you failed. So, but you are holding this fib here around this 475 area as a nice basis support right now. Yeah, just going to depend on what Bitcoin does and the rest of the market. If Bitcoin just consolidates here, altcoins have a chance at rallying and outperforming Bitcoin, right? We can look at YFI. We're going to look at Spell in one first, though. So the Spell token, again, not much chart data on this one. Unless there's another chart I can look at. Yeah, there isn't. Alright, looks like OKX has the most data. So we have our... we could look at Tezos. Yep, we'll take a look at it, man. So you're obviously in a big trading range right now here on Spell. And from our swing high to our swing low, we're using wicks. What's going on here? Can't see anything. Right. We're having trouble here at the 786 fib extension. So I mean, the more times you try to test this area, the more likely it is to break it, right? So it's just trading in this range right here. You know, we could see movements down to the bottom side of the range, which is around 2 cents if we continue to reject, right? And we are kind of showing that here with a bit of a 4-hour bearish divergence here on the stochastic, right? But a high, a lower high, and you know, the high and the same high on price. So that's a bit of divergence. So we could see a movement back down to the bottom side of the range, which is right around that 2 cent area, which is confluent with the 4-hour 128 simple moving average there, Crypto Soldier. All right, that's Spell. We'll take a look at one. That's Harmony One, I would assume. And that coin's been on a tear. And we did tell you that it broke this channel here, back tested and made another rally. And it does look like maybe a cup and handle type of thing right here. Right, you see the cup and the handle. We got the handle break. And we could see from this bottom to this top is roughly 30%. So we could see this back test, this handle here. We could get a back test before then running 30%, which would take us pretty close to this next fib extension around 35 cents, 36 cents. All right. And that's this area here. You're going to see some resistance come in there as well. Right, and you can see that this rally is supported by some nice volume here. So this is a real breakout and a real movement. Okay. So that is Harmony One. We looked at CRV already. We can look at YFI. Let's see. All right, so YFI major neckline break is right around this $43,000 area, which you aren't too far from. Okay. SXP, yep, we could take a look at it. XRP short, we can also take a look at that. And Tezos we'll look at. So yeah, Wi-Fi still technically technically making higher lows, right? So low, higher low, but needs to make a higher high. So if it does follow the same type of trajectory or pattern, we could see Wi-Fi go back up to this area here, which would be the top side of this channel. I'm actually going to redraw this as a major trend channel. But horizontal resistance, we're looking at a break around 43.8. If we get it, right? Yeah, there's your long-term trend channel there for YFI. Weekly got a cross up, but you're still in a consolidation, right? You haven't triggered weekly signal just yet. 3-day also didn't trigger. Looks like the 2-day triggered back here. And yeah, 2-day chart is bullish, right? 64 on the RSI. Nice. We'll take a look at Atom. We're going to look at XRP and Tezos here. All right, so we're going to look at Tezos. So still in the premise of this channel up here that we've been in, we are kind of getting squeezed here between the 128 and the 21 exponential moving average. You can see the price kind of compression, the price compressing in there. So we got some compression going on here. We are looking, if you're trading this to the long side, you're looking at, you know, the top side of the range here, 487, maybe on up to the resistance here on 538. If we do get downside, we are looking towards the bottom of the range around 410. And if we break 410, we're looking at these dailies back here, 395. 375, and maybe on down to the major fib extension eventually once you break these local supports. If we do if we continue to break down, right, as we are in this daily downtrend right now, lower high, lower high, lower high. However, we are basing out down here somewhere, and like I said, the price is getting some compression. We could maybe make an attempted rally. And the weekly Stokes are pointed up. We did just get a buy signal here above 20. We could then see Tezos move back on up. All right. We are showing a bit of MACD bullish divergence as well. All right. We are sitting around 47 on the RSI. We are below the weekly 21. These are some of the longer term buy rules I have for swing trades. But this is all contingent upon what Bitcoin looks like and what it's going to be doing, right? So if Bitcoin goes into a major correction or breaks below these major supports, you know, this may not play out, right? So like I said, just be really cautious and careful when entering some of these assets with Bitcoin not really looking too strong right now. Okay, that is all I'm going to say. We're going to look at XRP and looking to take a short trade. All right, so you would have wanted to look to enter or layer into some shorts maybe around that top side of the range, around that 90 to 95 cent area, and or really close to maybe the 89 cent area here, or even up to the 128 daily simple if we do get a push up there and we confirm a lower high. If we confirm another lower high up there, that would be something to look out for, to layer into some shorts to trade back down to the bottom side of the range, right? Now we're going to look at Cosmos here. Adam's been on quite a run. This asset is still looking pretty good, right? We even got this this break here that I was looking at and showing here on. Wow, interesting. It just broke right out of that pattern. Very good. Yeah. So we're looking towards the top side, right? A and C of this harmonic pattern. It would be close to about $40, $40 to $44, if the altcoins still are going to outperform Bitcoin and specifically this asset, right? So, yeah, this still looks pretty good, I would say. All right. We're going to look at traditional markets here. The S&P is up 0.39% right now. Still holding in this nice channel up. Haven't broken it. We almost did break it back here, but we got a nice double bottom for a continued rally. Nothing really bad to say about the market there in terms of technicals. We're making higher highs on price, but we are sort of starting to curl around here on the RSI, which is looks fine to me. We're sitting in bullish territory. And we might consolidate up here before the next major move. We'll look at XLM, sure. It does look like something rounding down here, man. And I want to be bullish on this asset, but I can only really be bullish if Bitcoin remains to be bullish. And Bitcoin just kind of sitting and not really doing anything too conducive. We are going to look at the, I want to pull up the Bitcoin cycle chart. Again, I know that we call it the cycle repeat chart, but it's been pretty good at calling major moves down. So let's take a look at it real quick, and I want everyone to be aware of it. And it is technically calling that this top is already in, the cycle top already in at 67.5K, and it's now saying that we're going to get a move back up. This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. It's pretty funny. The repaint chart, yeah. Yeah, repaint chart is now saying technical higher high coming in. That's really funny. At 76K by middle of June, or January. Anyways, it's sometimes good to look at for reference what we might be doing. It looks like it's setting up for a move up. That's what it's saying anyway. And the technicals are let's see. Is what it is. We need to break back above the daily 21. We need to reclaim this daily at 50,400 and start making closures above it, right? It's tough to say, man, because if Bitcoin dominance isn't like really ripping, then I don't think we go into bear market. I just think we're going to see sideways price action, or if we do get Bitcoin dominance to break down, that means all coins are going to rally. So it's really a bit confusing. You can look at Solana. Yep, let's take a look at Solana. Solana, I had drawn out a bearish head and shoulders pattern here because the right shoulder didn't even get up to, you know, that 214 level. Or we made technically a lower high, but so far it's still making higher lows than this low down here. So I really want to see that sort of fizzle out and break down. And the monthly, yeah, the monthly did get a rising wedge breakdown, and we confirmed it. So we could really be looking at that. I'm just so torn as to really where this market's going right now. It's kind of a little bit still unclear to me. And we did get a cross back down here on the weekly, so that's not a good look for Solana. I am out of all of my Solana that I bought in July, and I exited a lot of it on this break here around this 195 area, to be honest with you guys. ADA, you bought more. All right, let's take a look at it, man. Also, again, the weekly, we are below the major pivot areas here. We are in a weekly downtrend here on ADA. This does look better than Solana, right? Solana, it looks like it crossed down. The weekly stochastics here crossed back up, like above 20, right? So you got this signal coming in on ADA. So that's a promising thing to look at, right? And there is a bit of hidden bullish divergence here that could play out. It could play out, right? So you have your low here, and you have roughly the same lows, but steeper levels of negative momentum building on the weekly chart. Again, if you want to just trade ranges, all right, so you have the top side of your range here on $1.50. You have the bottom side of your range here around $1.21, $1.22. You're sort of in the middle of this range right now. You are technically making higher lows up here. And yesterday's candle close was kind of just a doji or an indecision candle here, but you didn't close below or break below this engulfing candle. So I would say as long as you stay above that 135 area, you could try to test higher. And that's really the game plan here for ADA. You could come back up to test this 128. This daily 128, if you can get back above this 162 area, there's a good chance you go back into an uptrend, right? So right now, short-term downtrend, or I would say, I wouldn't even say short-term. I would say you're in a downtrend here since you broke the daily here, which was like right around September 17th. Right. You've been in a downtrend since then. And that's really it. I think Sol could hit 500. I thought Sol could hit 700, but I didn't like what I was seeing on the chart, man. Especially on the monthly. I didn't like this rising wedge here and the overbought candles up here. Needless to say, it could just go sideways and consolidate for a while. Obviously, you're sitting, you know, way up here at 75 on the RSI. It could even come back down, like I said, around this $125 area, even this $100 area, if we really get, you know, a bear break down. It wasn't able to close back above $200 though, so just be aware of that. If you start breaking these lows, you're going to come back down to test these lows around 135, right? Happy New Year, Donnie. Yeah, and this was another rising wedge, right? So this broke down and it confirmed it, and might go sideways now because it is a strong asset, right? Let's make some money this year. Let's do it, man. I think SHIB was requested. SHIB holding above the weekly 21 EMA, so that's good. Yep. I bought SOL around 29 and sold it around 190 area. So I'd be looking to reaccumulate if we did get it moved down to these, you know, these 125 lows. That'd be good. I'd like to see this consolidate a bit more, man, before I really felt good about it. It isn't an uptrend, obviously. The only thing that I don't really like about the Solana chart right now is how is in that rising wedge on the monthly chart. Yeah, we can look at Luna. Yep, we'll look at it. And you see we kind of lost this upsloping trend line here. We back tested as resistance and the RSI kind of pulled down, right? So just be aware of what's happening up here. We'll look at Crow. Yeah, Luna, AVAX, and Crow. We'll look at them, man. Luna. This thing is kind of stuck here at 100 bucks. It hasn't been able to break it so far. Now, we did back test this this rising wedge type of deal here. It is getting a bit frothy up here, isn't it? You know, obviously towards the all-time highs. You can see the volume is receding too. So again, be careful. You did miss Atom. I didn't cover AVAX, Aave, and or Algo yet, Donnie. I'll get to those. All right, man. So Luna probably going to go back up. If it is going to go back up to test higher, we're looking at this $100 area. Okay, we want to get closures above that, back test as support to then move on to your next major fib extension, which is the 1,414, the $200 area. And we did get, looks like a weekly cross down, so that's not a good look. Although that is obviously a lagging indicator. It's a weekly chart. The daily looks okay. The daily did cross back up and above 20, so we got a signal confirmed on the daily. So the shorter time scale on the daily here, we could be looking to test the top side of the range again on Luna, okay, or at least to come back up to test 92, 35, 93, $94 area, and you have your resistance here around 100 bucks. Okay, be careful, man. You're in these rising wedge type structures. These can be rather dangerous to be longing. Okay. Let's see. AVAX, right? Also an extremely strong asset. So yeah, obviously you're holding this channel up very nicely. Right, you're still making these higher lows. You haven't produced a higher high just yet. Right, you wanna get back above this level here, that 135 level. And the 4-hour chart for right now is still making lower highs. Right. And doesn't really look too good. We could see maybe another move back down to the bottom side of the range. We could see a move back down to 109 or even back down to 104 if there's some selling that comes through here. And this area right here, this is that support line that we're going to test for sure. Looks like that 109, 110 area. I suspect we do test that. But you guys can see, you know, the high, the lower high, lower high, lower lows. We tried to make a rally here. We ended up making, again, a lower high. We're still holding the lows, though, so we're kind of getting into a compression range in this asset where it needs to make a decision, right? Are we going to break higher? Or are we going to break lower? I feel like a lot of that's going to depend on what Bitcoin does. And so far, these are still lower highs, right? But we are continuing to make higher lows. Lower highs and higher lows we're getting into a tight compression range. We're going to get to SXP, CRO, and I forget what else I missed, but this is what's going on right now on the weekly chart here for AVAX. And we did get a cross up here, but it wasn't really too strong of a move. You can see that the positive momentum is sort of weaning off here. Unless we get a real big spike of positive momentum this week or in the coming days. Yeah, I mean, the daily looks like the selling pressure here is weaning off. So we'll see if we get a nice move. We could just consolidate here before that happens. All right. It doesn't look too bad, right? Because we're still holding up on these lows. As long as we continue to make higher lows, we're going to make attempted rallies to make higher highs. And if we can't make higher highs, then we're going to come back down and test the lows. So it's really that simple. And that's it. Have you looked at Swipe? I didn't look at Swipe just yet. We'll look at Swipe and CRO. Yeah, so Swipe kind of rejecting the 128 simple here. Still technically in a downtrend, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and lower lows, right? But overall, right, in an uptrend, but we need to really start to reverse this trend to go back into a major uptrend. That's what we want to see, obviously. The weekly did get a nice cross up here. We did get a nice cross above the 20 area on the stochastic, and last time we did that was back here in July, and we saw the price go from, let's see, we saw the price go from a low of 150 to a high of 460, so almost a 4x, 3x, 4x on that. So if we do get some nice price action to follow through with this, could be looking at a 3 to 4x, just like we did last time we got a stochastic cross up. Right, and you can see the volume is receding. There could be a big move coming. Maybe we could get some consolidation before we get a major move back up. There was some big news with SXP. I think Binance buying them out or something about their swipe card or something. So I am not really too sure about that, but sounds promising. CRO. So CRO. We did get some of this move on this break here. Obviously, this does look like a rising wedge type of structure, right? And we got a breakout, and we're just kind of consolidating up here for now, right? The bottom side of this range is around 51 cents. You know, maybe look for that area here to maybe add to your long positions potentially. But this right here, this doji candle is typically a reversal candle on the weekly, which did usher in a nice move down, right? You guys can see that this hanging man candle here ushered in a move down. We do see volume receding here, and we did get back above the daily 21. So if we're just trading ranges, we could be looking at a trade back up to the top side of the range, which is 64 cents. We're going to put an alert there, and then the bottom side of the range here, if we do break it, 54 cents, we could be heading back lower to this area here. Okay, 49 cents. So you're kind of just in the middle of the trading range here on CRO. We looked at Atom and we looked at AVAX. Look at Aave and Algo here for Donnie. So Aave getting a nice reaction rally off the 1272. You guys can see that. We got a nice bullish engulf candle there. And a nice reaction off the lows. But that's very strong, I would say. That looks very good. We are in a downsloping channel. These usually resolve themselves eventually to the upside, but we could see you know, a trade to the top, reject it, come back down, and just kind of trade in the channel until you actually get a major breakout, right? So I don't know how long we're going to be in this channel for, but we're in the price channel right now, and the best way to trade these channels is to try to get longs towards the bottom of the trend channel and obviously exit or short the asset towards the top of the trend channel if you don't get a breakout. Where are the mods at? Can we get rid of these people? What's going on here? CRO is all over TV sports commercials. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. So here's something that could be in a value area, at least to trade to the supply line, okay, is synthetics. Synthetics, we could trade this up to about 850 before making another lower high and coming back down, right? And we got the cross up here on the weekly. This could be signaling a nice buy signal here for this asset. This isn't financial advice, of course. And if we want to just be trading ranges or looking at trading ranges, right? Even the RSI got a bit of a break here. Okay, we got a break. We'll look at Algorand. So Algo closing back above the 21 exponential moving average here on the weekly, so that's nice. Still technically making lower highs, right? Though, so be careful about that. And we did get a cross up here on the weekly as well. Signal coming in. And we are in a squeeze here on the weekly as well. We'd like to see this trigger to the long side, of course, but we will have to see how this plays out. Volume is receding as well on Algorand. Right. Look at Mana. Good look at that. Barn. We'll take a look at Barn. Look at Rose. I did exit a lot of my Rose position, guys. I'll be honest with you guys. I did sell towards the top of this this trend channel up here. You guys know I did buy this back here in January, around 5 cents. So a nice, 6-7x trade, swing trade, into the end of this year. But if it does break the top side of this channel, we are looking at almost a 3-4x trade. Okay, we're looking at these areas up here. And we'll look at Barn, we'll look at Mana, sure. Never heard of Barn. Is that Bond or whatever? Barn Bridge, Donnie? Let you get back to that. So Mana needs to break back above 360. It's really that simple. That's this area over here. And we do see volume receding, right? There hasn't been any volume at all since this major pump here in October. No, we are holding the lows. We haven't made lower lows. Weekly technically made a higher low than last week, but we got to break this weekly trading range here around this 388 area. All right, we'd like to see a break above that. If we don't, we're looking at the bottom side of the range, around 3.25, right? And we'll probably go test the weekly 21 exponential moving average if we do get a breakdown, which is right around that 264 area. So be on the lookout. Doesn't really look. I would say that this is pointing down, not up. We're losing positive momentum here. We already got a major pump, right? We could see prices come down on this asset, right? It's making lower highs. We did get a stochastic reset on the daily, which could produce maybe another lower high. So just be aware of that. If we start breaking above 390, sure, we can go back up to test the top side of the range. If we make a rally and it's a short-lived rally and we just make a lower high, we're going to come back down to test the bottom of the range again. Okay. We're not in really any sort of major structure here aside from this consolidation trading range here, and that's really it for this asset. I have nothing really else to add. Unless you guys see something that I don't see, I see this. I see that we're in this sideways consolidation range, and that's it. That's it. Neutral on the RSI, 46. Not bullish, not bearish. Looks like we may be going into a squeeze, but again, technically below zero is bearish. But you could get a daily cross up that could cause some movement back up, right? Volume receding here. I'd like to see on this next push where we get to. If we can break 390, sure, we can give upside targets top side of the range. If not, and we reject it and make another lower high, well, you guys already know we're going to come back down and test the lows again. All right? Anything else for me to look at? But the other one was banned. Yeah, you know what was interesting about banned? It was near a pattern completion zone for a major Gartley setup, but didn't really pan out because, well, I guess it did pan out. I gave an entry down here, and it made a rally, just made a lower high because Bitcoin dumped here, but we made a technical higher low. So yeah, maybe banned could maybe trade back up to the top of the range, at 589 area, if we do get some nice price action on some of these altcoins. And this could be a double bottom, and then if we do get a break above, looking at another 11% move to top side of the range, which would be around to 675 area. This asset's still technically in a downtrend. It's been an underperforming asset for quite some time now. So yeah, just kind of have to be patient with this one. This may play out. It's going to depend on Bitcoin. The daily did get a cross up. Looks okay. We'll see how this plays out. KDA, sure. That's Kadena, right? Yeah, I've heard of this one. Well, we broke the downsloping channel, and we're kind of just back testing it right now. Stokes pointed down, not looking too hot. Momentum sort of weaning off. You're technically in bearish control zone on the MACD below zero. And you could get a cross down, man. So that doesn't look too hot. I will say that doesn't look too hot. This is implying maybe movements down, not up. Okay. Some altcoins looking a lot better than others, I'll say that. What am I buying in 2022? Probably just stick to the LL1s, right? Like AVAX, Sol, Matic, the majors, Luna. I really would like to see Luna pull back before I buy it, though. Honestly, guys, right now I'm in mostly, I'd say I'm in like 50 to 60% cash right now, just kind of accumulating a cash position. Maybe looking at buying some real estate. Maybe we'll see if the market's ripe enough for that. But yeah, aside from that, I'm running spot bots on KuCoin with the SAR indicator, and I was told I could run spot shorts, but I'm gonna try to figure out how to do that. But yeah, I don't mind showing the results on this. I just started running this like a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I've made about $440 on a $20,000 trading account, just spot. I'm just in one position right now. I'm on ETH. Not a big deal. $1,600 on this trade. And that's really it. Yeah, the bots are pretty good on spot here. So this is kind of what the bots have been doing. Obviously on days where the market's really ripping, you know, we're going to see lots of trades go on. But last couple days I've shut these bots off, and I'm just running like Engine, Sand, AVAX, Sol, FTM, Link, Dot, Matic, SHIB, and ETH. Okay. Am I almost done? That's relative. Yeah, I could be almost done. I feel like we got a nice audience here tonight, just kind of hanging out on stream for a bit. Maybe you guys have some more questions about bots and what we do here at STP. And long term is Litecoin for you? Sure, Litecoin's a very big project, man. But yeah, the bots are going pretty good. They just trade on their own, so it's a beautiful thing. And this is on spot. There's no risk of liquidation. You always have to remember, if you do get stuck in a trade, you have to remember that if you're gonna get stuck in a trade, you want to be stuck in something that you're okay with holding, especially if we do go into major downtrends. And that's really that simple, right? It's really that easy. So I'm stuck right now in ETH. Again, I'm not really too worried about holding an ETH trade here. If I was to get stuck in Dot, Link, FTM, Sol, AVAX, Sand, or Engine, I think I'd be okay with it. They're obviously assets that have been outperforming the rest of the market. So what's my opinion on Gala? I don't really know too much about Gala. I remember giving the trade, though, and I didn't take it myself and kind of kicked myself for not taking my own trade. But hey, that happens all the time in this space. And here was the trade setup given. I believe it was given on a stream, and the thing did 10x, man. Just there it is. Am I running any rapid fire bots? I'm not currently, but I plan on doing that. If I can run shorts on rapid fire spot bots, I plan on setting those up here shortly. One inch shit. We can take a look at it. For the bots, I simply choose the bots because I'm running spot. I'm only choosing bots that I would be okay with getting bagged up long term. Like I said, Solana, AVAX, Engine, Matic, whatever else I was running. Not that many pairs. Link. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pairs. That's it. I'm only running 10 pairs. If you're looking to get constant action with the current market and the current pairs that are having crazy volume every day, and you want to just continue setting up bots every day, that is totally up to you. And I'm definitely not saying you shouldn't do that if this is your means of earning income. Okay. I personally am only running these type of pairs because these are the coins that I want to accumulate long term. And if I do get stuck in a long trade on one of them, it's not going to upset me, right? Sure, if I get stuck in it and it dumps like 90%, that sucks, right? But that's typically not how the markets work, right? They dump, they bounce, then they make a lower high, then they go lower, right? So like we just try to trade the bounces if we can, and or accumulate these assets long term. And that's kind of how the mindset you guys kind of need to run these bots. It's not just like, hey, let's just run these bots and make quick gains. Sure, that can happen, and you might be able to earn some nice money doing that, right? Like I've already earned, it hasn't even been a month, and I've earned, you know, $400, right? What about a bot to text back our girlfriend so we don't have to? I'm sure that you can program your phone to do that, brother. That's really funny though. Let me look at 1 inch for you, bro. All right. This coin is still in a major downtrend. It hasn't been able to get back above that 750 area. It tried here on this last wick. It was kind of sort of wedging here, just like everything else for a bit. We got a break and made a lower high. You're just in this tight range here right now, right between 240s to 280s. So you're in the middle of the range right now. You're below the 21 exponential moving average. You are sitting neutral on the RSI, like 45. I'd like to see if you want upside targets. We are getting a bit of a stochastic cross up here on the daily, but technically we're making lower highs on the RSI. We'd like to see this break this trading range here at 280. If we don't, we're looking at downside targets. A break of below this range would mean we see lower lows, which could be back to the 170 area if we don't break higher. IFTTT. Let's take a look at it. I don't see that as a ticker. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got me confused there. WWR. Sure, let's take a look at it. Stock is pretty wrecked, brother. So this is what a major downtrend looks like, guys. Yep. Do I mess with IOTA? I don't right now, but I'm not saying it's not something I won't in the future. IOTA's been around for a while. It's definitely an OG coin. So yeah, this stock is looks really bad. So we've done about a 61.8% retrace. We could come back down to the 786 or even the 886. Okay, those would be potential value areas for this asset. I mean, I don't really know that I would even want to own this asset based on the chart, but if you do, more power to you. And you could be looking at some sort of harmonic structure for an entry at the 786 or even down at the 886. So those could be your M-shaped target entries for this Gartley setup if you do get one. Okay. They got a Tesla contract. All right, that sounds promising. So maybe it is, you could be looking for, like I said, these areas of value here, like around 160. That could be an area of value. And the daily is showing maybe some sort of bottoming here on the RSI. Okay. You are at the 618, so you could get a reversal here too. This candle on Friday, though, man, not so good, right? And you're not really getting that much volume on this asset. This is definitely not something I would be personally looking to trade, but up to you. I was gonna look at live coin watch for you guys. Let's pick a sector, and let's take a look at it. Looks like DeFi has been kind of pumping nicely. Maybe the synthetics area, synthetics assets like Rune, SNX, UMA, Perp. Yeah, let's take a look at this and see if we get some something good to look at here on the pressure and depth of the order books. Yeah, we can look at BCEL. Just give me a second, man. I also want to sort this by market cap. Yeah, at least 50, at least $50 million cap. So Rune, Polymath. Let's take a look at some of these charts. These look like they have lots of buying pressure, so maybe we can see some upside on these. Those are Rune. Yeah, so I had this chart already. We are technically making lower highs, but we're still holding in this major channel up. This could be something to look at least to maybe trade to the top side of the range if we do get a bit of a move up. Or if we're going to get rejection, we could trade this back down to 675 areas, or even down to these support levels around 655. Okay. BCEL, let's take a look at it. Interesting, right down here at the bottom. Oh wow, this thing is wrecked, man. It looks like it's trying to round out down here. But man, this asset's really wrecked. You could be looking at least a test of 336, so maybe a 10% move up, Steven Backstead. AFRM, sure. So you haven't yet got a weekly stochastic cross up yet. I would probably wait for this one until you do get a stochastic cross, and you know, you get a signal above 20, right? That's what we always look for. We look for the stochastic cross ups and stochastic RSI cross above 20 for a confirmed buy signal. All right. Yes, you're below 45 on the RSI. Perfect. These are usually great for bottoms. Great for spotting bottoms. We are below the 21 exponential moving average, and we are. Let's see what kind of retrace we've done so far. Yeah, we've done about a 50% retrace. We are rejecting the 382 fib extension right now. So this could pan out to be moving lower. Just be careful, all right? It's trying to pivot here, but we have yet to make a move above this moving average. But I do see the compression. I also do see, you know, maybe rising wedge stuff here. But just be careful, man. You know, this could end up coming down one more leg. You know, fill this gap down here or something. 73 bucks. Just be on the lookout for that. All right. Anyone have any other questions about what we do here at SCP, aside from give you guys hopefully some great content that you guys enjoy? Make sure you guys smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel, and tick the little bell. Am I bullish or bearish for 2022? That's a good question, man. I'm bullish as long as Bitcoin stays above 40K, man. 43K, really. I feel like I'm more bullish on some of these altcoins because they look a lot better than Bitcoin right now. Like DOT, nice retest, right? Made a higher low on the weekly, nice closure. All right, looks like we have a bit of drop off here. So I think we're gonna call this stream for tonight. So thank you guys so much for joining. Appreciate you guys joining the stream tonight. If you guys have any feedback for the streams, how they can be better, more beneficial, to get the word out there with what we're doing here at STP, make sure you guys drop the comments in the comment section after the stream. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. And we'll catch you guys in the next stream, hopefully I'll do some maybe some sort of content this week for you guys, and we'll catch you guys then. You guys have a wonderful week. Happy New Year to you and your families, and stay safe out there.